Hey there YouTube, AC over here. Now this is pretty much finally down to the last video. Now in this video we're pretty much gonna already have everything set, lined up, and everything that kind of goes with it. Put everything back together, and then we're gonna go out on a test ride to show you how the lights look like from a forward perspective over here, so you can see how the lights would, I'll have the main light on obviously, and then I will turn on these lights so you guys can see how it looks like from the front view, and then I'll show you from the other view from my perspective of what I see on the road. So that's gonna be the last part of the video, and that's pretty much it. So let's get started and let me show you the rest of this video. Let's go ahead, grab our light, put it back through the hole. Gonna get that this washer first on there, then you're gonna get your spacer, put that on there, and then you're going to get the locking bolt or the nut. I'm gonna go ahead and put it all on there for now, and then we're going to go ahead and tighten it down, but not all the way. You want to make it a little bit loose because we still have to make the adjustment now on the left and right department. If need be, if when I go out there again and happen to see that the bulb or the light is a little bit too up or too down, not from where I had set it, then I'm going to take everything apart and retighten it again to the right specifications of how I see fit, and then go through this process with the screw again. All right, so that's that. Make sure you do this on both sides. Alrighty guys, now before I continue on, I wanted to just kind of say that if you guys wanted to make the auxiliary lights over here only turn on with a certain functions, we have to address it now. So I'm gonna go ahead and just turn on the bike on accessory mode. If you want your lights to come on with either the high beam or the low beam, the white cable is the low beam, the yellow one is the high beam. As you can see, I have them both connected now, but I actually loosened it. So right now I loosened the wire, the white wire, it goes white to white, blue to yellow, so I loosen up the white wire. So right now it's low beam. The lights are not coming on, but as soon as I hit the high beam, the accessory lights come on along obviously with your main headlight into high beam. So if you wanted to do it that way where these lights will come on automatically with the high beam, just make sure you don't connect the white posi tap, just connect the blue to the yellow. So when you hit your factory switch of high beam, these lights will come on, and then when you turn off your high beam, obviously these lights will turn off. Now if you want to be able to turn on your auxiliary lights when you have the low beam, then go ahead and tighten this one up, and then we will loosen up the yellow one. All right, so loosen up. So right now obviously low beam it's on, and then when I hit the high beam they turn off. So you could do it, that's another a few ways if you wanted to do it that way on controlling the auxiliary light. And of course you would always have to have this main switch on, because if you turn this one off, that completely turns off the lights, and no matter what you do they won't turn on. So this is just always has to be on if you wanted to be able to control it with your OEM switch over here. But for me, like I said before, I'm gonna have it where I'm able to control the lights no matter if I'm on high beam or low beam, as I want to just have that option. And you could do the same as well, just like me. So when I put the high beam, they're still on, low beam they're still on. That's that. All right guys, all right, so let's continue on with the installation. Let me show you what to do next. All right guys, now that I already did the adjustments for the auxiliary lights on, as far as the screws that were on the side, I tightened those already. Go ahead, and we already installed them back in, as you could see over here and over there as well. Now, well, over there. So now that we've done that, now let's go ahead and we're going to put our fairing, or our front headlight fairing on. Alrighty guys, as you can see, I already kind of temporarily put the headlight in there for now, so that way we could actually adjust the left and right position of the light beam. So while I go out there and do that, you guys do the same. Just make sure that it's an optimal lighting for yourself. And as soon as you're satisfied with how the angle of the light, you might as well go ahead and bring the tool, which is going to be 13 millimeter, and just hold it and tighten it down all the way until it doesn't move at all. And make sure you do that for both sides. Okay, at this point you could go ahead, once you're satisfied with the position of your lighting, you could go ahead and start closing the air box, snapping them together. So if I go over here, you just go ahead and start lining these up and then snapping them inside of their areas. So just go ahead carefully on doing it. Should be easy. Once you do it, just close it together and you should hear a snap once they are lined. I can do it for you guys. Let me put this one in there. All right, so just go ahead and snap it together. There you go. All right, pretty simple. Okay, now next we have two options for the switch for those the fog lights. You can stick around with this one and then kind of find a location on your bike to attach the switch, so you could turn them on and off when you want, or you could do it the way I'm going to do it, which is I'm going to actually take this switch off and I'm going to install a different switch. So let me show you that. And here is the switch that I'll be installing. It's going to be a simple push button. Push it in for on, push it out for off. And what I'm going to do in the video also, I'm going to be attaching, making a custom bracket that's going to attach to the lever bolt, and we're going to install, make a custom bracket that's going to go down and towards this way, and the switch will be right here. So that way when I want to, you know, press on it, I could kind of do it on the fly, or hold it. I could just, you know, go ahead and you know, press it like that, press it like that, but it'll be within my fingers a reach on doing so. Let's go ahead and get the materials on making this custom bracket. And if you're not planning to do this, you can go ahead and skip this part. Alrighty guys, now that we have our switches in place, I'm going to go ahead and remove the switch that it came with and install it with the switch that I have over here for the bracket. Now another cool thing, I mean, I forgot to kind of mention, which still not too late, you know, if you wanted to make a custom, you know, put this as your switch, you can, you know, just unplug it from here and then attach it to the bracket. Hopefully make the hole big enough, and then you'll have your switch over here on the other side. So let me show you that. So instead of having the switches like how I install these, you could actually have this switch instead over there, and therefore you'll be able to turn on your fog lights as well. That'll be another option as well. For me, I'm going to go ahead and wire it to this one. Okay, now that I removed the switch, which was right here, the gold terminal on the switch was the negative, and then these are two positive. So when you see the cables, if you pull them out, you're going to see a white one, then you're going to see a red one, and I just marked it with red, but there's pretty much two white ones, and that's the ones that we're going to be using. The ground one we don't have to worry about, so we'll just go ahead and tuck that away. And then so these are the two ones that we'll be using, and then we'll just connect it to our cable, which is also just two wires connected, and you'll have your on and off switch. Alright, so as you can see, I pretty much just use little connectors just in case I ever need to disconnect it, or you could actually just put it direct to wire. Other than that, put the heat shrink tubing, and then I'm also going to slide this guy, which is pretty much going to cover hopefully everything, and just slide this over all the way through, heat shrink it, and you'll be done. And also, don't forget to plug in your headlight, because there's nothing more frustrating than actually getting your whole headlight back in place, find out that you forgot to plug in the headlight to the connector of the harness. So make sure you kind of do that first, then start putting everything in place. Alright, so I pretty much almost got the whole entire headlight in, and note that you want to make sure that the vents are properly aligned. So even though you have it already up there, just make sure that the vent of the plastic is lined up with this plastic here on both the bottom and on the top. So make sure with both sides. For me, I had a little bit of difficulty with this top part as it was kind of hanging down and it wasn't lining up properly. But once I kind of started moving things around, it all snapped into place. So make sure you're checking on that as you're putting everything back together. Unfortunately, guys, I seem to have lost the footage of me showing you on how to install the mirrors and put everything else back together. So I'm really sorry about that. I have no idea what happened. I was recording, you know, a few videos at the time of doing it. So I don't know if the footage got lost somehow that way. But pretty much it's pretty simple. You know, you want to just put your mirrors back on over here, part of the windscreen back on if you removed it. And then also, you know, put the body panels back on. Pretty much the same way you removed it is the same way you're going to be putting it back on. Alrighty there, YouTube. So that's pretty much going to be concluding the series on how to install these hidden lights. As you could see right here, I have them on, and you could also see that I do have the DRLs. Now the next series that could be coming up is going to be on how to make these DRLs. Actually, let me go ahead and turn off the fog lights real quick so you guys can see, just as a little preview of, you know, what's to come. So as you can see right here, now we have the DRLs. Now, like I said, the next series that's coming up is going to be on how to make these DRLs multicolor. I know you guys saw my, you know, kind of like April Fool's video of how to make them multicolor with, you know, packs of multicolored gummies, which was just a joke. You know, you guys already know that. Kind of want to get all these other smaller videos in between after this one of, you know, the hidden fog lights, you know, and yeah, I kind of want to get all this other stuff that I have, you know, worked on, you know, before I do that other series, because as I'm doing the series, I kind of just want to make sure that the series are, you know, back to back to back, you know, without any interruptions in between. If you guys enjoyed this video series about these fog lights right here, please give me that thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to subscribe, which should be right down there. Also, the notification bell will be right down there as well. So hit that little 2-button combo right there. That way you guys are always up to date with my latest uploads. Also, if you guys have any questions about anything, go ahead and post them down there as well. And also down there in the video is going to be pretty much the products that I use to do this installation installation. So don't forget to click those links, as those links also help me out on doing future projects for you guys. And that's pretty much about it. All right, guys, catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully you guys are enjoying my content. If you guys have any questions or even ideas, also put that down below. I'd like to hear on what type of content that you guys would like to see. All right, guys, enough about that. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.